Jaden Metzger. Number 6, Isaac Williamstein. Number 8, Emmett Miller. Number 9, Samuel Kirkstra. Number 10, Seth Grunwald. Number 11, Jack Duran. Number 12, Alexander Spignola. Number 13, Braden Tufts. Number 14, Eli Tolman. Number 15, Aaron Lopez. Number 16, Justin Stockholm. Number 17, Andrew Gutierrez. Number 18, Ryan Smith. And rounding out the roster for the Chicks, number 22, Caden Cook. The head coach of the Chicks is Zach Williams. He's assisted by Ty Kinrad and Jared Suits. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time for us to meet your 2019 and this evening's home team, the Varsity Maroons of Holland Christian High School. Number 0 and goalkeeper, Sean Cades. Number 1, Dante Scrongor. Number 2, Johnny Lies. Number 3, Zach Flowerday. Number 4, Logan Van Kampen. Number 5, Josiah Holiday. Number 6, Charlie Van Zeeland. Number 7, Brandon Walters. Number 8, Kirby Eggers. Number 9, Chase Frericks. Number 10, Sam Sickle. Number 11, Ryan Lindberg. Number 12, Dylan Brower. Number 13, Andres Burgos. Number 14, Arthur Brown. Number 15, Andrew DeBlancourt. Number 16, Charlie Tucker. Number 17, Corbin Vandenbrink. Number 18, Grant Copes. Number 19, Austin Mulder. Number 20, Zach Wood. Number 24, Colin Digraff. And rounding out the roster for your Maroons, your backup goalkeeper, number 26, Owen Koning. Your Holland Christian Varsity Maroons are coached, now entering in his 7th year, by Dr. David DeBoer. He's assisted by Mr. Mike Johns, Mr. Matt Finkbeiner, Mr. Luke Shepers, and Mr. Brian Lemon. Your officials for this evening's contest, Mr. Jim Kroll, Mr. Brent Hoydinga, and your center official is Mr. Jamie Lewis. Good luck to both teams. Let's play OK Green Maroons Varsity Soccer. As we look to start the first half of action in today's OK Green contest, the visiting Chicks of Zeeland East will go left to right from our vantage point here in the press box, and the home-standing Maroons of Holland Christian will go right to left. Do we have opening kickoff yet? First half opening kickoff belonging to the home-standing Maroons of Holland Christian. All right, Rich, they're going to look, so. Well, a pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth for today's men's varsity soccer action between the Zeeland East Chicks, that's CHIX, under head coach Zach Williams, and of course the home-standing Varsity Maroons of Holland Christian, coming in under head coach in his 7th year, the Dr. David DeBoer, assisted by Mike Johns, Matt Finkbinder, Luke Shepers, and Mr. Brian Lemon. Dan Temrink alongside Rich Nagelkirk to call this game for you this evening from beautiful Holland Christian. Just a quick insight on today's game. Holland Christian comes in with an impressive 12-win, 0-loss, 1-tie record. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's a big old goose egg in the loss column for the Maroons. They've been undefeated up to this point, and they do have 1 tie on the season coming against their Christian fellowship rivalry from Hudsonville, the Crusaders of Unity Christian. That game back here a couple weeks ago versus the Crusaders, that game ended in a 0-0 tie, giving the Maroons of Holland Christian their one tie of the season. They will face off versus those same Crusaders on Wednesday at Unity Christian with 2 games left in the season, as they will travel to Unity on Wednesday, like I said before, and they will host the Dutch of Holland High next week Monday on a very special night, as we'll honor the seniors and the annual Night of Nets game. We're going to bring my second partner into this contest. The Maroons almost scored on an opportunity right there, but before we jump into today's play-by-play commentary, I'm going to bring in my sidekick for today's game, Mr. Rich Nailkirk, to give us some insight on what he thinks the keys to the win for this game for the Maroons are. They did come off an impressive win versus the Chicks at Zeeland East to start in round 1 of conference play. Like we said before, this is round 2 of conference play. So Rich is going to give us some feedback. The Maroons are on a shot attempt goal, and that one rolls in, and the Maroons are up 1-0 early in this contest. And that's Frericks on the goal with the first for the Maroons of Holland Christian. Holland Christian goal scored for the Maroons of Holland Christian. So, Rich, just like that, the Maroons come off a quick fight, and they're up 1-0 in this contest. I was going to say, Rich, what do you have to say to the keys of this game for the Maroons, but Christian?
To be honest, the keys of the game for Holland Christian, we got to play great defense and get the ball up the field to get into the back of the net. Otherwise, we might be struggling, but you never know with that defense, as we might pick it up a little bit since it's the second time around. And the first time we actually, at Zeeland East, we actually played on grass compared to turf, so that's a huge difference. That's a huge difference too in the play.
So looks like Sean Kays is in goal for the Maroons of Holland Christian. Owen Koning fighting an injury suffered in warm-ups at the Byron Center game. So we're up to 1 goalie in this little stretch for a little while there, Rich. Like I said, Koning suffering a injury in warm-ups during the, it was either the Holland game or the Byron Center game. Not quite sure which one was that, but we wish Owen the best of luck on his recovery. And, of course, that looks like number 0, Cade Langdon, in goal for the Chicks of Zeeland East. So the ball went outside the far line over closest to our athletic trainer here at Holland Christian. So that'll be a Maroons throw-in. We've had no subs so far this game, but we have had the 1 goal. So the Maroons are already up 1-0, and we're only about not even 10. We're about only
4 minutes.
4 minutes into this contest. I had to look at my clock. This game getting moved up to 5:30's got everyone a little off today, Rich. But we're glad to call this game. Once again, Dan Semrink, Rich Nailkirk alongside. JV did come out victorious. Final score 4-0 for Toby Lum and the JV Maroons. We wish them the best of luck as their season progresses. Also, the freshman Maroons are in Caledonia for a 5 o'clock kickoff versus the Fighting Scots. We'll try to keep you posted on the freshman game as our night progresses. But until then, we're going to stick here with varsity soccer. Maroons have possession, and they're looking middle. Here could be another goal for Frericks.
It was close, but a little bit outside of the left-hand side of the goal.
So great shot by Frericks for the Maroons. And we'll give the ball to Cade Langdon for the Chicks of Zeeland East. And we'll progress on with this game. Like I said, no subs so far in this game. Rich, the one thing I noticed about the Zeeland East team,
They have a pretty young squad between juniors, sophomores, and even a couple freshmen on the team, Rich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 seniors. One of their seniors is not with us tonight. So we'll see how that works out for head coach Zach Williams and the Chicks of Zeeland East.
Technically 7 seniors, but 6 are playing tonight.
You're right. I did miscount. Thank you, Rich, for grabbing onto that. So like I said, we'll see how this young team cooperates under head coach Zach Williams. He's also assisted by Ty Kinderred and Jared Suits. Zach Williams, a very familiar name over at Zeeland East. He's been in the boys program for quite a while and a good friend of me and Rich. But today it's Maroons and Chicks on a beautiful, what do I call this, Rich? Sunny mid-evening from Holland Christian?
Yeah, sunny and hot.
Sunny and hot. Just what I wrote down on the stat sheet. So Maroons will have it. That's Grant Copes using that long ball kick to perfection on defense. Right now we got possession to Frericks. Looks Van Kampen. Van Kampen on the close sideline, close to the press box. Looks Frericks back to Van Kampen. Van Kampen on the wheels. Back to Frericks. Looked Brandon Walters. Brandon Walters with a little push from behind to move that Zeeland East Chick out of the way, and they came up short. That's number 6, Isaac Williamstein for the Chicks, and he had possession for a little while, but Christian 32-46 remaining in this first half of play. It's a beautiful night here at Holland Christian. Stay tuned. A lot of events could potentially be getting switched due to the potential of that triple E mosquito virus. So just stay tuned for hollandchristian.org/athletics for all times, events, and locations. It is confirmed. I do believe that Hamilton and Holland Christian will be in boys varsity football at Hamilton. Rich said that game is now at 5 o'clock at Hamilton on Friday. So that's one note of change. And we're going to have our first substitution of this game. But before that, Holland Christian boots it in the goal.
It was number 17 with that sub for.
And number 8, Kirby Eggers, bounce ones into the goal. And just like that, the Maroons are up 2-0. Off an Eggers goal for Holland Christian.
Time of goal 31:57 remaining in the first half of play. Once again, Eggers on the goal for the Maroons of Holland Christian.
17 was the sub for Zeeland East.
Number 17, Andrew Gutierrez in for the Chicks of Zeeland East following the goal.
So Gutierrez goes in for the Chicks of Zeeland East following that game. This is the Maroons that I've seen play. This is the Maroons you've seen play. And they're fighting a couple injuries down there in the sideline, and they've been missing a couple of their key players lately. But they're still playing that Maroon soccer that we've seen them play. Like I said, only one tie in that record. And it'll be fun to see how conference standings come out as the Maroons will play in Division III this year. They will have the Cardinals of Bloomingdale in game number 1 for district action. Stay tuned to MHSA.com for dates, times, and locations and all the bracket information on D3. But we do know for a fact that the Maroons will potentially host the Cardinals of Bloomingdale in that first round of districts. Once again, stay tuned, hollandchristian.org/athletics, as well as MHSA.com/boys soccer for all your Division III soccer district action. But we have games to call until then, and it's a white throw out closest here to the press box. On the sideline closest to the press box, throwing it in. And there goes Fredericks again. Junior out of Zeeland East, Cade Langdon. And we look like we're going to have another Zeeland East substitution.
It's number 3.
So Cameron Link will head in for the Chicks on the next available substitution. Like I said before in our broadcast, very young team for Zach Williams and the Chicks this year. And as for the Maroons, they're returning a lot of key starters. Looks like we're going to have 2 subs for the Chicks.
Number 10 also.
So Seth Grunwald will also be in for the Chicks on the next dead ball. But the Maroons have possession on the far sideline. And the Maroons will kick it out. And they will call a Maroon throw-in. For the Maroons of Holland Christian. And that rolls back to Cade Langdon in goal. And
he gets it out of there.
The Maroons still leading on a very quick 2-0.
That's Sickle.
So Sickle had possession of the ball. There's going to be...
No, Sickle's coming in.
Oh, yes, you're right.
And number 18 for Zeeland East also.
So Ryan Smith also joining the Zeeland East chicken coop. And number 10, Sam Sickle, will go in for the Maroons, and we're going to...
It looks like a trip on Holland Christian, so Zeeland East will actually have a free kick looking at the 34 yard line. That's in football, not soccer, so.
How far would that be in soccer, Rich?
Far enough.
So the Chicks on the kick. 12 is going to take it. That is Alexander Spignolo for the Chicks. And the Chicks have a chance to get it out. Could be dangerous, but that's Grant Copes there to deflect it, and that's a save. So we're going to give a goal kick to Sean Kays, goalkeeper for the Maroons of Holland Christian. Substitutions are as followed. For the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 3, Cameron Link, number 10, Seth Grunwald, and number 18, Ryan Smith. For so the Maroons have it, but it's kicked out on a far ball by Braden Tufts for the Chicks of Zeeland East. And the Chicks will maintain possession, but Brandon Walters on the offensive attack with some help over there. That could be, is that Mulder? That is number 19, Austin Mulder for the Maroons of Holland Christian. Maroons in their maroon jersey with the grayish stripe, and the Chicks in their visiting white jerseys with black numbers. Chicks are heading toward the concession stand side for scoring in the first half. And the Maroons of Holland Christian are heading toward the scoreboard side, and they've met that side a lot this game as it's 2-0 in favor of the Maroons still. Coach DeBoer also going to honor some very special guests with us tonight, the 3 soccer programs in the Holland Christian family. They will welcome the 7th and 8th grade team from Holland Christian, as well as the 7th, 8th combined from Zeeland Christian. So stay tuned for some special halftime events. And Rich will cover some upcoming sports for the Maroons during halftime. And we'll catch you up on the first half of soccer between the Chicks and the Maroons. Ryan Lindbergh had the chance. Copes on the big maroon H, gets it out to the far sideline, out of bounds. And we're going to give it to the white, and the Chicks will maintain possession on the out of bounds with great help from their assistant coaches. Copes trying to get it out on the far sideline yet again with some help from his teammates. Mulder on the attack for the Maroons. Brandon Walters to Sickle. Sickle boots it up middle and is met immediately by number 13, Braden Tufts for the Chicks.
Then Van Campen gets it back for the Maroons.
And Van Campen looked and turned to it. No, but Brandon Walters is right there. Brandon Walters has that foot to potentially score it. Josiah Holiday kicks it out. Sickle goes for the run to save it. Not in time. Sends a goal kick for number 0, Cade Langdon.
I thought Holiday usually plays defense, so DeBoer is actually switching up a little bit and having Holiday play forward compared to defense where he usually starts the game. But so I think DeBoer is actually switching the lineup a little bit for the second time around.
Well, and Rich, this far into the season, you have to start thinking you only have 3 games left in the regular season, 2 after. I think Coach DeBoer wants to try to get him some goals in the record book before the season comes to an end. But you never know, like I was saying, this far into the conference with you. You might need to use your players in different positions when you come and meet those schools you don't usually see in the conference or outside of the conference. So, yeah, you're right. Coach DeBoer using that lineup change a little bit to see probably potentially where he could play these boys as they look to make a run into the Division III soccer tournament.
Isaac Wilmington is your one for Zeeland East.
So Isaac Williamstein will come in for the substitution. The Maroons and Coach DeBoer look like they're hydrating up 2 subs. So they're sending back in Frericks, and that could be, looks like Brower. And we'll get those subs in as soon as we can. So that's Dylan Brower and 7. Brandon Walters and the Chicks are going to send in one more.
Chase Frericks is there too, number 9. 9 and 12 for Holland Christian.
You're right. I was thinking.
And 6 and 22 for Zeeland East.
I always get Walters and Frericks confused. They all look alike from the press box side of the field. So we'll get those substitutions in, but until then, play is on. Josiah Holiday, and here come the subs for both schools. Substitutions are as follows for the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 6, Isaac Williamstein, and number 22, Caden Cook. For the Maroons of Holland Christian, number 9, Chase Frericks, and number 12, Dylan Brower.
Zeeland East takes the throw in at the closest side to the press box. For Zeeland East, he took that throw in.
Rich is going to be my eyes again for those subs and some potential plays. For those of you that are joining us on HC Sports Live, I play multiple roles in this broadcast. I'm a play-by-play with Rich Niggerkirk, but I'm also the public address announcer here at Holland Christian for soccer. So double duty in the hats of Dan Sembrink. But until we have to announce anything, that could have been a push from behind.
Yeah, it is a push from behind.
And our center official calls a foul. So that means the Maroons are going to set it up for another. I don't know where it could be. Okay. And like that, he boots it in. And that's a goal for the Maroons of Holland Christian from number 8, Kirby Eggers. That's his second goal of the game. Holland Christian goal scored with 20 minutes.
goals here, possibly make it 8-0, then that'd be a quick night for all of us. But you never know.
And that's a field goal. Could have used some of those on Friday and Saturday versus the Chicks.
We're not talking about that.
And we have a substitution coming
Number
in
9
for the Chicks of Zeeland East. Number 9 is Samuel Kickstra in for the Chicks of Zeeland East.
Two will be your next sub in for Zeeland East.
My favorite name of the whole roster, Caleb Swartz in Dauber. We do want to point out we should probably congratulate Johnny Kaiser on setting a new school record with a, what was that, Rich, a 52-yard field goal?
52-yard field goal on Friday night, not Saturday.
Versus the Chicks of Zeeland East. That kick for that field goal is actually up for Play of the Week on Fox 17. So if the Maroon faithful want to head over and vote for that, for Johnny Kaiser's field goal kick for Play of the Week, head on over to fox17.com/sports, and I'm sure Johnny would appreciate the votes for Play of the Week.
Number 2 is in the game for us. So both number 2s.
So both number 2s will come into the game, and here are the substitutions for the Chicks and the Maroons. Number 2, Caleb Swartzendauber in for the Chicks, and number 2, Johnny Lies in for the Maroons of Holland Christian. So both number 2s are in, and we're back underway. As Logan Van Kampen looking for the ball, looks Lindbergh. And who we got here on the far side going for the ball? Rich is going to give me a number.
That's number 12.
So Dylan Brower. One thing about the broadcast booth, we like to call that the pole. So the pole is in my way on that one, as I'm in the far window in the control center of the broadcast. Rich to my side, kick by the Maroons right into the hands of Cade Langdon. And this is the foot. Goes to about the 40-yard line. And Dante Skronborg's over there to save it. But will give possession to the Chicks of Zeeland East. Back to the Maroons. Frericks out of bounds. So we're going to give that to the Chicks of Zeeland East. Number 18, Ryan Smith throws in the ball on the close sideline here in the press box side of our field. Dante Skronborg on the far side. Looks Sickle. Sickle having a great defensive battle with number 9, Samuel Kirkstra. And I think, Rich, they call that out.
It is. It's the on ball.
So out on. Kick taken by Copes, and the Maroons will have possession. So number 16 for the Maroons, that's Charlie Tucker, will be coming in for the Maroons. Grant Copes using that foot, could potentially find someone to head it in, and it's not. So Lindbergh, look, Sickle getting into the body of Kirkstra.
Number 12 is coming for Zeeland East.
Alexander Spignolo will be in for the Chicks on their next substitution. Aiden Tufts. And the Chicks will also send in number 17, Andrew Gutierrez.
subs are in.
Charlie Tucker. And the Maroons on a great potential for another goal. It's number 7, Brandon Walter. By Cade Langdon. And this one, possession mostly to the Maroons in this contest.
So far, but you never know. Never know. There's a lot of game to play, so Zeeland East might change it up in the second half and do something different on offense and defense, but you never know. Grant Copes takes it upfield, passes it upfield to Sickle. Sickle has it still.
And the Chicks look like they're going to have a substitution. It's going to be number 15, Aaron Lopez. Oh, there's 2 of them, Rich.
Number 11.
So 11, that's Jack Durham, and number 15, Aaron Lopez. And substitutions are as followed for the Chicks. Zeeland East, number 11, Jack Durham, and number 15, Aaron Lopez. And hot and a little sticky and a little muggy.
Yeah, it is. That's right. It's great weather compared to what we had on Friday night with that bad thunderstorm and stuff, so it's better than that.
It is a great night for Maroon Soccer. Good crowd for moving it up to 5:30. The time change, we were wondering how that was going to work, but it's a good crowd on hand to see the Maroons and the Chicks play in today's second round conference action. This is game 14 already, Rich, for the Maroons. Can you believe that?
Really? That's unbelievable.
Feels like just the other day we were starting soccer here at Holland Christian in the broadcast booth. Josiah Holiday and Logan Van Kampen will check in for the Maroons onto the field. Substitutions are as followed for the Maroons and Holland Christian. Number 4, Logan Van Kampen, and number 5, Josiah Holiday. I'm used to just being in the finishing up the JV game right about now, Rich. But we're
I know, it's crazy.
We're into varsity. Oh, and a good, ooh, that could have been a team goal for the Chicks, but luckily their defensive unit was there to get it out. And just like that, the Maroons are going to have the possession. Looks like we're going to have potential subs or just some water. Sickle is just having a water break over there, so we're going to have no subs.
Both that Zeeland players, too. It's warm on the turf.
But apparently I'm assuming the humidity forecast has been checked on the turf and is not in the halfway danger zone for that water break. So it doesn't look like we'll be having that water break. So that's a good sign, because that can get dangerously hot out there on that turf. But a little shade coming from that far side over by the scoreboard here at Holland Christian. But we're up here in the press box with a roof over our head and a little bit of shade, but
good?
Still very hot and muggy up here in the broadcast booth. But hey, we're here on a beautiful night for soccer. Great header by number 2, Caleb Schwarzendaber. Keep him here. In there, Rich. Did that go out of bounds or?
Yeah, it's out of bounds. Zeeland throwing.
Perfect.
But way down there.
Like I said, a little hard to see from my position window here in the broadcast booth, but we're giving you the best angles that we can to help make this game the best we can for everybody at home, hopefully in their air conditioning, enjoying a little soccer. Or if you're at work, finishing up your work day, we're glad to have you on the broadcast. Once again, Dan Semrink, Rich Nagelkirk, and the whole HC Sports Live crew, under the direction of Mr. Dan Voss here at Holland Christian. We thank him for his hard work in putting this broadcast together and even moving it up with the day ahead that we had here at Holland Christian. Rich, that's Grant Copes back there with the ball.
Yes, it is.
Looking back to Lindbergh. We're going to go fight it to Dylan Brower. Logan Van Kampen around the middle. Josiah Holiday, like Rich said, playing a little bit more offense today. And Josiah's going up against number 16, Justin Sockholm, for the Chicks. And the Maroons are going to send in two.
3 and 8. Where's that Kirby? That's Kirby. Yeah, 3 and 8.
8 and 9.
Oh, sorry.
Substitutions are as follows for the Maroons of Holland Christian: number 8, Kirby Eggers, and number 9, Chase Brericks.
So the Maroons throw in. Does that look like he stepped on the wrong line there, Rich? Is that what they're indicating?
Yeah, I believe so.
Once again, a little confusing here at Holland Christian. We have a lot of lines for a lot of different sports, and that maroon line and the yellow line, and they're still confusing. So remember, it's yellow in soccer. Maroon is football and lacrosse.
15 and 19 in for Holland Christian.
15 and 19, that will be Andrew DeBlancourt. And number 19, Austin Mulder.
Substitutions are as follows for the Maroons of Holland Christian: number 15, Andrew DeBlancourt, and number 19, Austin Mulder.
So the Maroons on that side, closest to the goal again for the Holland Christian goal. Just like that.
Look at that. It's right at 7-minute mark, too.
I believe that was Kirby Eggers. Looks like they're all high-fiving Kirby, so we'll give him the hat trick for today, and we'll put him down for his third goal.
Holland Christian goal scored with 7 minutes remaining in the first half by number 8, Kirby Eggers. Eggers on the goal for the Maroons of Holland Christian. Once again, 7 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, Rich, I have to say one thing. It's always a good sign as a PA announcer when the parents are clapping when you say a name, meaning you got it right. Because you know how it is. Usually they retaliate when it's not the right goal. So, that's 4 quick goals for the Maroons, and this could be an interesting second half, Rich. Do you think Coach DeBoer will pull it back a little or just keep on playing?
Yeah, I think he's going to keep on playing because it's been a crazy week, and especially with Unity coming up on Monday. He might.
Oh, and Zeeland East had a potential ball from Caleb Schwarzendaber.
Number 1 is coming into the game for Zeeland East.
And he had a collision with the Maroons that broke up the ball. And just like that, the Maroons had it back. Frericks. They're going to look Kirby again. And Kirby pressures the ball to Lindbergh. I thought it was going to be an out of bounds on White. But it's not. And the play continues on the far sideline. That looks like Dante Skronbor over there still for the Maroons playing the ball. Correction, no, that's Josiah Holiday. The numbers a little hard to read on the far side there, but like I said, we do the best to keep you informed on what's going on in this game. Rich will keep you up to date on some upcoming events on the live stream, as well as a recap of the first half with me.
13 also for Howland Christian is 13, 1-4, and 22 for Zeeland East.
1-4 and 22 will be for the Chicks, and the Maroons will go 13. Andres. Oh, and the Maroons on a shot. Goalie falls down. And just like that, we have substitutions.
Substitutions are followed for the Chicks. Number 1, Myers. Number 4, Link. And number 22, Cook. For the Maroons, Holland Christian. Number 13, Andres Burgos.
Rich, I'm getting a little tongue-tied on these earlier starts, but hey, it's a great day for soccer. Once again, Dan Semmering alongside Rich Nagelkirk. Like I said, Rich will keep you up to date on our first half and recap the first half, as well as we'll talk about some upcoming sports here at Holland Christian the rest of this week, and even some potential special ceremony and halftime, as we're going to honor the middle school programs that are with us today. So stay tuned, a lot to cover in halftime. So it's going to be a fun one, but until then, we got about just under 4 minutes of plenty of soccer to be played here at Holland Christian. Maroons have the throw-in on the far sideline in front of the Zeeland East bench. Josiah Holiday kicked it out, which gave possession to the Chicks. Number 9, Samuel Kickstra threw in that ball for the Chicks.
17 is coming in for Howland Christian.
Corbin Vandenbrink, the Maroons will send in on the next substitution.
Number 10 for Zeeland East.
Seth Grunwald.
That's it.
Seth Grunwald will come in for the Chicks. And Corbin Vandenbrink will check in for the Maroons onto the field on their next substitution abilities. But until then, we will keep playing. And I see our special guest of the evening starting to get down there, and they're going to get ready for a little shootout competition between the JV goalies. Rich, what do you think of that? The middle schools versus the big boy goalies.
To be honest, I think the goalies can actually stop the middle schoolers, but it's hard to say. At least we don't have to keep score up on the scoreboard for that, so it's very hard to say what they're gonna do.
So I'm not sure if they were supposed to be subs there or what we're calling. I think offsides.
It was offsides. He waved his flag up in the air.
So our center official, little late on getting the offsides call. But, yeah. Possession to the Maroons, Woody. Number 20, Zach Wood back there with Grant Copes. And, looks like...
That would be Ryan Lindbergh back there, too.
Lindbergh's up there. Who's hanging out there on that far side closest to the Holland Christian bench? Dante Skronbor?
Yes.
Dante Skronbor is hanging out there as well. So we're going to have the substitutions are as followed in just a minute.
Substitutions are as followed for the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 10, Seth Grunwald, and for the Maroons of Holland Christian, number 17, Corbin Vandenbrink. We also have 1 minute remaining in the first half of action.
Helps if I put my microphone down. Just after 1 minute warning, we're at 4-0 with 37 seconds, and Sean Kays on the great boot out from the side, and they're going to Andres Burgos on the run to potentially give the Maroons this goal going into halftime. But I think, Rich, this halftime is going to be a 4-0 lead in favor of the Maroons following Christian.
Never know. We might get one with 10 seconds to go. But I don't think we'll.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of the first half from today's OK Green Varsity action. The Maroons of Holland Christian 4, the Chicks of Zeeland East yet on the board. Once again, just a couple friendly reminder, ladies and gentlemen, the concession stand is open and fully operational for those food and beverage needs. Proceeds help fund athletics here at Holland Christian High School, Holland Christian Middle School, as well as the Zeeland Christian Schools. So make sure you check out the concession stand, get yourself a ice cold Pepsi product, or a hot dog, or some popcorn, or a very special treat this evening, ice cream sandwiches for $1.50. Go ahead and get those while supplies last at the concession stand. Also, friendly reminder, ladies and gentlemen, once again, restroom facilities are open and fully operational, located behind the concession stand building. And as always, are Holland Christian free of charge. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we want to take a moment to recognize 3 special middle school teams in attendance with us tonight. We look forward to watching you learn and grow as the future of Holland Christian soccer. We are excited to help our young players learn life skills through the team experience. Parents, thank you for all the support for your sons. Coaches, thank you for your time and dedication to teaching the game of soccer, but more importantly, helping our young players learn life skills through the team experience. We are grateful for you. Holland Christian Soccer wants to challenge you to continue to work hard on and off the field to become the best soccer players and best teammates you can be, and to reflect Jesus Christ in everything you do. At this time, we direct your attention to the field, where we would like to recognize the Holland Christian Middle School 7th grade soccer team under head coach Sam Fox, the Holland Christian Middle School 8th grade team under head coach Jeff Liu, and the 7th and 8th grade Zeeland Christian soccer team under the head coach Vince Hutt. Thank you, Holland Christian soccer teams and the Zeeland Christian soccer team, for coming out with us this evening, and we wish you the best of luck in the remainder of your season. And as always, go Maroons and go Rams. We're also going to have a little halftime competition as the Holland Christian Middle School program and the Zeeland Christian soccer program will have a shootout contest. And I do believe we have the JV goalies warming up in net for Holland Christian. That's Daniel Morgan and Jonah Rulofs. So we'll have a little halftime shootout and have a little fun at halftime. Cheer on the Holland Christian Middle School teams and Zeeland Christian teams in our halftime shootout. And once again, go Maroons and go Rams.
That's Morgan in goal.
That's Jonah right there, right?
Yeah, Jonah's in goal.
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember who was doing it. Also, once again, friendly reminder, Holland Christian fans, the JV and Varsity Maroons will be back in action on Wednesday as they will head to Unity Christian to face off versus the Crusaders of Unity Christian. JV slated to start at 5 o'clock, and the Varsity slated to kick off at 6:45. We encourage you to head to hollandchristian.org/athletics on Wednesday for any updated time schedules for the Unity Christian game on Wednesday. If you can't make it out to Unity on Wednesday, we'll be back 1 week from tonight as we wrap up the regular season, as the Maroons will host the Dutch of Holland High in the annual Night of Nets game, and we'll also honor our seniors that night. So if you can't make it out to Unity on
And
next
upcoming
week,
events for
Wednesday,
Holland
we
Christian
encourage you to head on over to
tomorrow
next
is
week, Monday,
October
as the
1st. We got
Maroons take on the Dutch.
girls varsity volleyball at Zeeland East. So we'll have Zeeland East today for soccer and then tomorrow for volleyball. So stand by for that one. That was a 5 o'clock start and 6 o'clock start. Soccer will be at Unity on Wednesday. And tomorrow, Holland High versus Holland Christian girls swimming at the Aquatic Center, with Holland High being the home team. Then on Wednesday, October 2, the Jamboree number 3 cross country at Hamilton, and boys of varsity soccer at
Also,
Unity
just a friendly
Christian.
reminder, ladies and gentlemen, with 2 games remaining for the Maroons, as they will travel to Unity and host Holland.
And
next
this
week
coming
Monday,
Friday,
the boys
October
will
4,
prepare
Holland
to
Christian varsity
take
football
to
will be
Division
traveling
III
to Hamilton.
District 34
Way.
soccer action hosted
Make a
by
note on
Greenville
that
High School.
schedule. The game will be at 5 o'clock, not at
The
7
Maroons of
originally
Holland Christian
planned.
will take on the Cardinals
And
of Bloomingdale in their first round of districts.
this
Stay
coming
tuned to
Thursday,
hollandchristian.org/athletics and
October 3,
nhsl.com for updated
JV will be
times
home
for
at
that district
6:30
contest between the Holland Christian Maroons
p.m.
and the
against
Bloomingdale
Hamilton
Cardinals.
and on October 5, varsity tennis conference tournament will be home. And then Wednesday, October 2, East Garden Rapids versus the Holland Christian freshman boys soccer program at Holland Christian Middle School. So that's further update on sports this week.
Well, thank you, Rich, for covering the upcoming schedule on Maroons athletics. We welcome you back into the broadcast booth. Dan Temerink alongside Richard Nealkirk for today's halftime between the Chicks and the Maroons. 4-0 in favor of the Maroons of Holland Christian. Just want to touch base on upcoming contests. For the Maroons of Holland Christian, they will host the annual Night of Nets game next week Monday, and will also honor our seniors next week Monday. So we encourage everyone to come out for that game. Always a great cause. T-shirts will start being on sale on Wednesday and Thursday. If you're interested in purchasing a Night of Nets T-shirt that will get you into the game for free, you can contact head coach David DeBoer on his Holland Christian email. Looking ahead to the district tournament, the Maroons of Holland Christian will face off versus the Cardinals of Bloomingdale High School. Stay tuned to hollandchristian.org/athletics for further information. Due to the seeding of the District 34 Division III bracket, the Fenville Blackhawks are the number 2 seed, and the Maroons of Holland Christian are the number 1 seed in that bracket. So there's a potential, Rich, that we could host that first round contest between the Cardinals of Bloomingdale High School. Stay tuned for that as the weeks progress. Once again, for all updated tournament action in boys soccer, mhsa.com/boys soccer. Couple upcoming live stream events we want to quick touch base on with you. The next one's a fun one, Rich. That's the juniors versus the seniors in Holland Christian Powder Puff right here at Holland Christian High School. On the 14th of October, we'll be right back here. Dan Temrink, Rich Nagelkirk versus Powder Puff. Juniors took a big win last year, and they're looking to redeem themselves as seniors. We're going to step away one quick time for a quick second, and we'll be back with second half action between the Maroons and the Chicks. You're watching men's varsity soccer on HC Sports Live.
And we welcome everybody back to the second half of action as we look forward to preparing for the second half. The Maroons of Holland Christian will now go left to right from our vantage point here in the press box. And the visiting Chicks of Zeeland East will go right to left. And the second half kickoff will belong to the Chicks of Zeeland East High School. At this time, we'd like to wish both teams good luck. Let's play second half OK Green Maroons of Varsity Soccer.
And with that, we step away from a quick break, and we're back inside the broadcast booth. Dan Temrink, Rich Nailkirk to get you ready to start the second half of action. 40 minutes up on that clock to determine a winner. Right now, the Maroons, though, Rich, in a commanding 4-0 lead going into the half. 4 more goals, and this one could be done early. But you never know what head coach Zach Williams and head coach Dave DeBoer talk about in that halftime huddle. If you were Coach DeBoer, what do you say right now to your boys? Do you play back, or do you just keep on going and away we go and it's 8-0 and we call this one early?
I'd just say that. Keep going and play your game and get a couple more goals here, 4 more goals to get it done early, so they can have the rest of the night off and good practice tomorrow and get ready for Unity on Wednesday at Unity, which is a grass field compared to turf, which Holland Christian always plays on, and Unity plays on grass. So that's actually a very difference right there already, because with turf the ball's a lot faster, and on the grass the ball is a lot slower. So that makes a huge difference in play. So I'm gonna say DeBoer is gonna put pressure on Zeeland East and get that 8-goal differential.
And right now it's interesting to decide what's going on into the conference standings. The Maroons right now are in a commanding lead of the OK Green Conference action with only their one tie versus Unity. So it's going to come down to that game on Wednesday and the Holland game. If they can take care of business and potentially win versus Unity at Unity, and then obviously win versus the Dutch of Holland High next week, Monday, 1 week from tonight, right here at Holland Christian. And Brandon Walters pops one in. And that's
nice save by the goalkeeper.
That's a different goalkeeper.
That's the same.
Yep, that's Caden. From up here, he looked a little smaller.
Yes, he did.
But like I said, Rich, it comes down to these last 2 games for the Maroons. And there's number 8, Kirby Eggers on the goal for the Maroons to start the second half. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 for him. And 1 in the second half, and the Maroons are up.
38-07.
5-0.
Holland Christian goals start the second half by number 8, Kirby Eggers. Time of goal 38:07 remaining in today's contest.
So right now, Rich, that's an easy goal count. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Kirby Eggers, 1 for Chase Burks. Right now, I think Kirby Eggers is leading to be your player of the game because there's not much anyone else we can pick from.
What about our goalkeeper?
Sean's having a great time in goal, that's for sure. So, yeah. But like,
It's going to be tough to say.
it will be tough to say, but
Let's see if Zeeland East can put pressure.
ooh, and Sean Kays jumps up for the ball, has possession.
Let's
gives
see
it
if
to the
they can put
Maroons.
more pressure on Sean. Otherwise, it's going to be Kirby for sure. But it's hard to say. That's why we play the game of soccer.
And I know this team well, and I think one of the goals they put up this year is they want to win the OK Green outright in boys soccer. Well, I don't remember the last time they won it. I know it's been a while, but this team is bound determined, and if they play the way they do tonight, they could have another potential good game versus those Crusaders of Unity Christian. Like I said, that game only ended in a 0-0 tie. We actually covered that game on HC Sports Live. That was a little bit of a crazy night. We played, and then we went to a 30-minute weather delay, Rich. And then we came back and finished that one 0-0. So it's on grass. It's a whole nother place. They're in front of their home fans. I know Randy Heathice and the Crusaders are going to be fired up. Definitely for Wednesday.
7 is going to take that corner.
So Brandon Walters. And the student section I hear is the phenomenal corner chant. Walters up. Great deflection by Zeeland East. But the header potentially still in favor of the Maroons. So goal kick heading over for Zeeland East. Also, once again, everybody, I forgot to mention this at halftime too to the folks out there, but congratulations, head coach Toby Blum. He had a great 4-0 win versus the Chicks of Zeeland East in this game prior to that. JV program also having a phenomenal year here, Rich. I'm not quite sure on the record, but they're also having another phenomenal year, and we wish head coach Toby Blum the best of luck. They also have 2 games remaining, as they will head to Unity and host a very good Holland JV game next week, Monday. Maroons only losing to the JV Dutch. I believe it was 1-0 at Holland. So good couple of last games to end up the season for the Holland Christian Maroons. But until then, we finish up today, and then we talk on the rest of the season. How's that sound, Rich?
That sounds good. I actually know the Holland JV goalkeeper. My mother actually babysits him. So.
And if I remember right, Rich, I think the JV Maroons might have tied Unity, or was it a win?
I believe it was a tie.
So, like I said, 2 good games coming up for the Maroons, but right now we focus on the Maroons and the Chicks. 34 minutes and about 16 seconds remaining in this game. And like I said, a big, huge goal differential, and the Maroons in a commanding lead. There's a push off the Chicks by Caden Link, the freshman.
Right, but I think we actually pushed them because, it was a throw-in.
So that is Samuel Kirkstra that took it over here on the sideline closest to the press box. Wasn't quite sure if that was a foul call or not. Dante Scrombor with the great stop, but still gives it to the white. And possession to the Zeeland East Chicks. Ooh, the Chicks have a little trip, which gives possession to the Maroons. Maroons look up the middle. Who is that? Frericks. No goal.
Frericks, yeah.
Wow.
Corner.
They're awarding the corner on the Frericks potential goal. So let's see who goes to that corner and sets it up for the Maroons. Holland Christian is going to have a sub. It's going to be Johnny Lies, number 2 for the Maroons. We'll wait and see when he goes in, but we're going to set up the corner kick, and that is Brandon Walters. Sets up the play, hand is up. Oh, look to Dante Scrumboard on that one. Pass back to Brower. And Zeeland East gets it out. And great playing by Logan Van Kampen. Little physical, but nothing called against. And the Maroons back to Grant Copes. Copes looked up. Number 11, Jack Duran, had the ball there for a second for the Chicks, but Frericks right there to look in Eggers. And Eggers wants to go for 5 goals out of the 6. We got a little trip up. And the
Corner.
Sub will still go in. That'll be number 2, Johnny Lies for the Maroons of Holland Christian.
Substitutions are as followed. For the Maroons, Holland Christian, number 2, Johnny Lies.
So they will have the corner kick out of the kick of Frericks, headed by Grant Copes. Grant Copes looking to potentially score, and no score, and we'll have 2 subs, I believe, for the Chicks. Our officials in the way, so we'll take a sec to get those numbers for you. That's number 3 and number 17 going in for the Chicks.
Substitutions are as followed. For the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 3, Cameron Link, and number 17, Andrew Gutierrez.
So the Maroons maintain possession. Far sideline closest to their bench. Looks middle. Number 4, the freshman, Caden Link. I think number 3 and number 4 must be brothers, Rich. Cameron and Caden.
I believe they are, or maybe they're twins.
They might be identical twins because they're, 1, their numerical order. 2, they're both freshmen. And 3, they're both first name starts with a K. Wow. That's exciting.
While we're thinking of it, next week, Monday, the boys' freshman soccer team plays against Finville, and that will be their last home game. And then next week, Wednesday, the boys' freshman team will be traveling to Granville. So, triple header action next week, Monday, in boys' soccer.
Josiah Holiday looks middle. Could have had Johnny there for a minute.
We got
And the
subs on each.
substitutions will be as followed. 16 for the Maroons. I believe that's 18 and 22 for the Chicks.
Yes, that is correct.
18 and 22. And then, did I just say 16 for the Maroons?
Yep.
Substitutions are as followed. Number 18, Ryan Smith. Number 22, Caden Cook. And for the Chicks, for the Maroons, number 16, Charlie Tucker.
Rich, as I was announcing that substitutions, I heard our parents go crazy. What was that about?
Almost another goal was close.
Rich, thanks for reminding me. Next week we do have triple header action. The freshman Maroons, I think, have only played, if I count correctly, 1 game on this field. I don't remember the last time we've had a triple header, so that'll be good as the Maroons host the Blackhawks in freshman action. And there's a sub for
17.
the Maroons. And that was sending Corbin Vandenbrink for Holland Christian.
Substitutions are as followed. For the Maroons of Holland Christian, number 17, Corbin Vandenbrink.
Replacing Josiah Holiday. Holiday comes out of the game.
So yeah, that's crazy to think about that. Coach Rietveld hasn't played very many games here, but it'll be good to have him back on the turf as we have a triple header next week Monday.
You'll see him on Wednesday this week too.
But he will be at the grass, and they don't get the scoreboard and announcer capability they do on the turf.
That
so
is
it'll
true.
be good to have them back on the turf next week Monday, as that will be their final game at home before traveling to Granville. So who we got here? Logan Van Kampen.
Yep.
Was that Grant Copes?
That was Charlie. That was 16.
That was Charlie Tucker.
Grant Copes is in the backfield.
Woo! And that was either Frericks or Walters. Not quite sure on the boot there. But there could have been another potential goal for the Maroons. Like I said, these Maroons are leading, still in a commanding lead by a score of 5-0. And that would move the Maroons to an impressive 13-0-1 record if they can hold on to this game.
10-12 for Zeeland East when we get a chance.
So Seth Grunwald, and what was that other one, Rich?
10-12.
Alexander Spagnolo. But until we have the subs, we will play soccer. And is that possession to the Chicks?
It's a free kick.
Not quite sure where the ball is.
It's a free kick.
I'm not quite sure where the ball is at the moment.
The ball's at 26.
Who would be taking that?
It's a freshman.
Cameron Link, number 3.
Yeah.
My rosters were getting stuck to my arm. It must mean the humidity's rising. It's getting a little muggy up here in the broadcast booth, but hey, like I said, another beautiful night for Maroon soccer, and we're glad to bring this one to you. So we got 17, that's Corbin Vandenbrink for the Maroons right here on the close sideline toward the press box. They're looking middle. Great pressure by the Maroons to keep the ball.
Is that Ferrix?
Bounces around, looks middle. Zeeland East gets it out, and that's out. But it's still Maroon ball, so that substitution will not go in.
Stand by. We're a long ways from it. Okay. I was gonna say it for the stop of the.
Oh! Great shot by the Maroons to send
Alston Mulder.
to send Cade Langdon into the net, but he didn't go far enough with that ball crossing the line, and therefore it is not a goal. And we'll keep playing. The Chicks will add one more.
I got him. Number 7.
That's 7 or 1. I can't tell because the number is a little bit crinkled.
It's a 1.
So that's Myers also joining the crew for the Chicks. So we'll get those subs in right now.
Substitutions are as follows. For the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 1, Myers, number 10, Grunwald, and number 12, Spagnolo.
So plays back underway after that substitution, and you may have been wondering what Rich was starting to hint at earlier in the when he mentioned it's getting close, and then he realized what time it was. It is not getting close. There is a new rule in MHSAA soccer which, to be honest, I have yet to see be enforced. But Rich is going to explain what the rule is in case it is going to be enforced. But like I said, I have not seen it enforced yet this season.
14 and 15 for Holland Christian. And 14 and 15 for Holland Christian, number 9 for Zeeland East. And then subs are in.
Substitutions are as follows. For the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 9, Samuel Kickstra. For the Maroons, number 14, Arthur Brown, and number 15, Andrew DeBlancourt.
With under 2 minutes to play in regulation, if there is a sub at the line, the official will give whoever's on the scoreboard the X sign to stop the clock. And that's actually a new rule this year. It's just a little bit crazy. And the nice thing is, we haven't had it yet at Holland Christian, but never know. Some other schools might have had it, and it just gets another sub into play compared to let the clock keep running. So
I am going to step on into Rich's comment one quick chance. That is 5 minutes remaining in the contest, under 5 minutes, and it's only if a team is leading. So
that is correct.
So obviously Holland Christian is leading 5-0. So with under 5 minutes, if they all decide to sub, which like I told Rich, I have not seen it happen because most teams know that if you're blowing them out of the water like the Maroons are, Coach DeBoer and Coach Williams probably aren't going to sub that much because they know that rule is in effect. So like I said, I have not seen it yet personally this year, but you never know during tournament time. So the Maroons have possession. Oh, and a little pushing. Ooh, if he boots it, there's no goalie. Good shot. I'm going to see if I can get that. That would have been Johnny Lies for the Maroons. With, I think, could have been, who was over there with him? Was that Copes or was that, I think that was Brown.
I think Brown or Mulder. Grant is in the backfield.
Perfect. It's good to see Arthur Brown back in uniform. Like I said, the Maroons battling some injuries. Good to see him back in uniform. Zach Flowerday still out with an injury. We wish him the best of luck in his recovery. And then, like I said before, backup goalkeeper Owen Koning fighting a hand injury prior to the second half of that Holland game. So we wish them all the best of luck on their return to the field, and hopefully by districts they get back in and play some for the Maroons. And you never know who might DeBoer bring up from the JV program.
Number 10, Sam Sickle in for the Maroons of Holland Christian.
If anybody, because it looks like all of his numbers are filled except for a couple. So it's hard to say what DeBoer will do for districts.
But he could potentially grab into the goalies selection if Owen Koning is not available.
Right, yeah, that is true.
Because in districts, you need all the potential goalies you can get. Because you never know when you might have to go into a shootout. Not saying Sean isn't capable, but if Sean were to go down, you quick draw a hat and figure out who the backup goalkeeper is.
That is true.
So, but we wish Owen the best of luck and hope to see him back as the weeks progress coming into the district tournament, and maybe even, in time for Holland next week, Monday. So the Maroons still maintaining possession of this contest.
Did Sean play that whole game at Holland, do you know?
Yes, Sean did play the whole game. Oh! And that is
It's number 2.
Johnny Lies on a little turf monster slide. That turf monster got to him, but he got right back up and kept playing.
That's my best buddy, the turf monster is.
So the Chicks have possession down on the scoreboard side of the field. I haven't counted very many shots on goal for the Chicks.
I don't know if he's coming.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if he's coming in, but number 24 is.
Grant Copes thought he looked like he almost threw his back out there for a sec on that long ball kick. But he's up and okay and will continue to play.
24 for Allen Christian.
24. That'll be Colin Digraph.
6 and 11.
6, 11.
19 is in for Allen Christian also.
Substitutions are as follows for the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 6, Isaac Willemstein, and number 11, Jack Durham. In for the Maroons of Holland Christian, number 19, Austin Mulder, and number 24, Colin Digraph.
Looks like the Chicks will send in a whole flock.
Again. More.
Rich, I think that's, I believe, was Colin Digraph down for the first half of the season?
Yes, he was.
Because I do not remember announcing that name coming in.
2, 4, and 15 for Zeeland East.
2, 4, 15. Yeah, I do not remember Colin Digraph coming in at all during the first half of the season. But
I don't think he played last year either because he was in an injury.
So that's good to see Digraph back on the field and Coach DeBoer getting him out there to see what he can do on the field for the Maroons to get them ready for those games and tournament action.
$16 it looks like for Zeeland East also. Or correction, 18. 13 and 13 is in.
We're not going to worry about this batch because there's so many and I'm not quite sure on all the numbers.
Number 18 is not in for Zeeland East. Just go Holland Christian 13.
Substitutions are as follows for the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 2, Caleb Swartzendaughter, number 14, Eli Tallman, and number 15, Aaron Lopez. For the Maroons of Holland Christian, number 13, Andres Burgos.
So I'd like to thank Rich for helping me out on the substitutions and helping me call this game. Once again, Dan Semmerink, Rich Engelkirk in the broadcast booth. Whole HCLive crew with about 15 minutes remaining in this game, and it's 5-0 still in favor of the Maroons. Looks like we're going to have a corner kick.
And by the way, Dan, to make you difference in the game right now, the DeBoer actually did pull Grant Copes off the field. So Dycraft is actually playing in his spot.
So let's watch the corner kick because the Maroons still have that capability.
10.
Sickle.
Yep.
Up. Wood on the attack. And 13. That's Braden Tufts on a great boot kick out of there, but Dante Scromboard's got it. And Caden Langdon has the ball for the Chicks. And we'll have a goal kick.
With 14 minutes to go in the game.
So Zeeland East, number 13, Braden Tufts kicks it out. Possession given right away to the Maroons. That's Mulder on the attack. 17. Holland Christian turns the corner. Can't find help. Back to Mulder. Mulder looks long ball to. There's a lot of people over there. That's Brower to Andres. Andres looks around. Trying to get Andres a goal, but possession number 12, Alexander Spagnolo. for the Chicks, and the Chicks will have maintained possession. So Sickle regains possession for the Maroons. On the trip ball by Williamstein. Williamstein was out there looking a little rough. Parents asking for a push. And there was no call. So we'll keep playing on. Maroons go long. Look to Arthur Brown, number 14 for Holland Christian. And no possession. So we'll go goal kick in favor of the Chicks of Zeeland East. So there was a quick flag up by the close official on this sideline. Not sure what that was about, but he put it down fast, and Zeeland East is going to have a sub on the next possession. That's one of the Twins. That's number 3. That's going to be Cameron Link for the Chicks. And Rich, looking at my paper, Rich agrees with me. So far, I think Zeeland East has had the most subs in this contest.
What are they at? Oh, yeah. Big time.
Lost track of my numbering.
Too many to count on one hand.
You got that right. So there's no subs. Oh, there is a sub, but nobody has entered in yet. But that will be Cameron Link, one of the freshmen on the varsity team for head coach Williams. And the ball is out, and they're going to give that to White, and the substitution will go in.
Substitutions are as follows. For the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 3, Cameron Link.
We still got 10 minutes to go in this one, Rich. This clock, I feel, has slowed down a little. But there's been a lot of good defensive and offensive positions in this contest.
The Twins are in together now for Zeeland East. The Link Twins, or brothers.
So we will see how they compare in this contest in play together. And a great shot by the Maroons right into the arms of a very familiar name yet again, Cade Langdon for the Chicks.
He's only a junior, so it looks like he might be potentially coming back next year for Zeeland East when they play Holland Christian. So,
and God willing, HC Sports Live will still be up and running full force next year. So we want to thank our student volunteers, as well as our technology director here at Holland Christian Schools, Mr. Dan Boss, for leading the charge in this. I know me and Rich have had a great time getting to know the students and Mr. Voss and making this events possible. We've done everything from football, soccer, swimming, dive, unified basketball at Zeeland Christian, our annual Powder Puff game. That will be our next live broadcast from Holland Christian. Monday, October 14. That will actually be a week after the Holland game. We will not be covering the Holland game next week Monday, so make sure you come on out next week.
Austin Mulder's coming in for the Maroons.
Substitutions are as follows. For the Maroons of Holland Christian, number 19, Austin Mulder.
So like I was saying before, the public address announcement of that substitution, we will not be covering that Holland game. So come on out next week and support the Maroons on senior night and the annual Night of Nets game. Once again, you can purchase beautiful Night of Nets t-shirts that will go on sale on Wednesday. And if you are interested in buying a shirt,
22 is coming in for Zeeland East.
stop by the office and or email Coach DeBoer, and he'd be happy to tell you how you can buy a shirt for the annual Night of Nets game.
Number 22, Kaden Cook in for the Chicks of Zeeland East.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Gotta be number 1.
it. It is.
Myers also in for the Chicks.
And Rich, if you buy one of those T-shirts, what's the grand prize I like to call it? You get to do what at the game next week Monday?
You get to get in free.
You get to get in for free. Save that $5 and get in for free. But more importantly, what does the cause of that night and why are those shirts so important to sell at Holland and Holland Christian?
They're actually to raise bed nets. They're like $15 shirts, but it's worth getting them, and it's a great cause for the Holland and Holland Christian family to say in that game to get the shirts and raise money for the bed nets.
And this all started because of Coach DeBoer's education at Cornerstone University. We're going to have a player down on the field. It's number 12, Alexander Spignolo, but he's backed up and running. So the clock will not stop, and it will be 6:37 remaining in this contest. But like I was saying before, Coach DeBoer went to Cornerstone and was actually involved in the Night of Nets at Cornerstone when he was a student there. And he wanted to pass that on to the soccer program here at Holland Christian. And Holland High was grateful enough to join in, and it's been a partnership ever since.
Stand by, we got potential goal for Zeeland East.
Going every other year. So this year Holland Christian will host. I believe Chip Huber will come from Cornerstone and talk, hopefully.
12. That was 12 on the shot, but no good.
So Alexander Spignolo on the attempted shot, no good, gives it to the hands, very capable hands of number 0, Sean Kays, and he'll look to kick it out with 5:39 remaining in today's contest. Coach DeBoer is sending over the sub. 2 subs.
15. Possibly Kirby back in, but
So right now it's Andrew DeBlancourt at the line for Holland Christian with a potential of number 8, Kirby Eggers.
Nope.
He was just getting a drink break. So, Rich, this will be interesting to see right here. Will they enforce that stop clock rule?
I hope not. We just gotta keep the game going.
And Zeeland East will have a sub. That'll be number 18, Ryan Smith. So we're about to see if this rule, they have 2 subs. Yup, and they're enforcing it this year. So, number 10 also for the Chicks.
Substitutions are as followed. For the Chicks of Zeeland East, number 10, Seth Grunwald, and number 18, Ryan Smith.
Yeah, there was. I don't.
Number 15, Andrew DeBlancourt for the Maroons.
So just like we talked about at the start of this game, this is the first time I've seen it enforced. Holland Christian's up 5-0, and we hate to break it to you, but on every substitution under 5 minutes, we're going to get that big old X stoppage so that no time is wasted in today's game. So, there are no subs currently over on the far side, so that's good. But Coach Williams knows of the new policy, and he's going to send one over. And, Rich, I don't know. It's just a little bit of a different ruling, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't like it.
That you have to stop it on every substitution.
Under 5 minutes.
Under 5 minutes.
He's not going to send anybody.
All right, so Coach Williams pulls off the substitutions because he knows the rule is getting implemented in this game. Like I said, first game I've ever seen this implemented. But and I think Coach DeBoer is going to hold back too, don't you think?
Might as well with 3 minutes ago, 3.5 minutes to go. Might as well. Might as well just keep everybody else that's on the field now. Keep them on the field for the last 3 minutes.
Unless there's a potential. What if Zeeland East were to get a goal?
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think that.
Big collision, and there's a goal. Just like that, we talk about the Chicks scoring, and that's the freshman, number 3. Wow.
3:03 left.
Zeeland East goal scored with 3:03 remaining in today's contest by number 3, Cameron Link. Link on the goal for the Chicks of Zeeland East. 3:03 remaining today's contest.
So the freshman, Cameron Link, comes out of nowhere, and Rich, that's a little bit of an intimidating factor because Sean Case hasn't given up very many goals this year.
No.
So, and just like that, we have, I guess it's kind of a ball game. Maybe we shouldn't have talked about it so loud on the headset, because as soon as we talked about it, it happened. But that's the game of soccer, and you never know what could happen.
That is true.
So, I think that now officially, does that override the sub-clock rule or no?
No.
Because the Maroons are still leading, right?
Right,
By
yeah.
4?
Yeah, it has to be a tie ball game to unenforce it.
All right. So that's good to know.
Yeah,
So-
it will be.
Yeah. Just like that, the Maroons are still in it, but they did give up a goal to number 3, Cameron Link. That's a freshman out of Zeeland East High School. And the Maroons are looking to hopefully hold off the momentum and pull up their defense and finish this game strong.
I wonder if Grant Cope's is going to come back and now since Zeeland East scored, but I don't think he will. I think DeBoer is going to rest him the rest of the time.
And I think Coach DeBoer is going to know that the clock rule is enforced, so will not probably send any more in.
You never know with him. To be honest, I don't think DeBoer actually knows that I'm here either.
So I'm going to jump on the PA for 1 minute. Rich is going to fill you in on what's going on following that 1 minute until I get back on headset.
Zeeland East gets it upfield to 22. Holland Christian gets it back. Gets it upfield. Zeeland East kicks it.
1 minute remaining in today's contest.
Out of bounds, Zeeland East throwing is going to be taken by number 9, Samuel Kirkstra. HC gets it. HC gets it upfield. Tries to.
So the Chicks are going to fight for about 28 seconds. I'm going to count it down. I'm going to end the night, and then me and Rich will jump back on for some post-game feedback. But until then, Rich is going to close out this game for you until I get back on with the post-game show.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Officials are
5,
talking about it,
4,
and then
three,
they're push off
2,
on Zeeland
1.
East. Zeeland East.
And
They never
that'll
took
be
the
your
ball.
Final score in this evening's varsity soccer contest. Your Holland Christian Maroons 5, the Chicks of Zeeland East 1. Congratulations, head coach Dave DeBoer and the varsity Maroons on their win this evening. The Maroons now move to a 13-win, 0-loss, 1-tie
Kirby Eggers
record.
with 4
And
goals
we'd like to remind everyone
and
that the Maroons will be back in action this coming
Chase
Wednesday,
Ferricks with 1
October 2nd.
goal, then
as
that
they
makes
only have
it,
2 regular season games remaining and will make the trip to
and for
Hudsonville.
Zeeland East,
As the
Cameron
Crusaders
Lake
of
with
Unity Christian
1
High School
goal.
will welcome the Maroons for a second round OK Green Conference matchup, with the Maroons and Crusaders ending in a 0-0 tie back on September 9th right here at Holland Christian High School, giving the Maroons their only tie this season. Action set to kick off at 6:45 at the Unity Christian Sports Complex. Also, friendly reminder, stay tuned to Holland Christian.
To be honest, I'm going to give the player the game
for any possible time changes
Kirby,
regarding the kickoff time for that contest.
Kirby Eggers.
Your stats for today's game: the 1 goal for the Chicks, number 3, Cameron Link. And your stats for the Maroons: 1 goal, Chase Frericks. And your leading scorer this evening for the Maroons with 4 goals, number 8, Kirby Eggers. Holland Christian High School has enjoyed having you at today's games, and we look forward to having you as our guest at future events, right here at Maroons Field. On behalf of Holland Christian High School and the whole game management team, thanks for coming. Don't forget to drive home safely, and don't forget, as always, go Maroons. Good night, everyone.
And we welcome everybody back inside the broadcast booth. Once again, Dan Temmerink alongside Rich Nagelkirk with the Maroons' impressive 5-1 win over the Chicks of Zeeland East. Once again, your scoring summary went like this. Number 3, Cameron Link, 1 goal for the Chicks, giving them their 1 goal this game. Number 9, Chase Frericks, giving the Maroons 1 goal. And as Rich, I believe, already said in this game, your leading scorer this evening with 4 goals, number 8, Kirby Eggers.
That is correct.
Once again, Maroons move to a victorious 13 wins. They hold on to that big old goose egg in the loss column. And once again, that 1 tie coming off the Crusaders back here on September 9th with a 0-0 tie. Like I said, Maroons will head to Unity Christian on Wednesday. Stay tuned to hollandchristian.org/athletics for game time information regarding the matchup between the Crusaders and the Maroons. If you can't make it out Wednesday, come on back next week Monday. Final home game of the season, senior night, Night of Nets, as the Maroons will host the Dutch of Holland High. For all of us here in the broadcast booth, Dan Temmerink, Rich Nagelkirk, our student volunteers, and our technology director here at Holland Christian High School, Mr. Dan Voss. Once again, your final score, the Maroons of Holland Christian 5, the Chicks of Zeeland East 1. Thanks for watching men's varsity soccer on HC Sports Live. And don't forget, as always, good night and go Maroons.